Hello, everyone, and welcome to the ninth episode of the eighth series of the Temple of Surf, the podcast. Today, I'm very happy because with us we have Greyson Fletcher. We discuss with him about the upcoming film Convergence, surf, skate, and much more. Hi, Greyson. Welcome to the show. Where are you today?
I'm at my home in San Clemente, California, and it's a nice sunny day out, but I'm in my sling, so just sitting here in my bed doing this interview. Super stoked to be here.
So what happened to you? How you broke your collarbone?
I went on a skateboard trip to Oregon with Arbor Skateboards, and I went to Mount Hood, Seek Skateboard Camp, and on first day decided to get on a mountain bike. Got all stoked to ride a mountain bike because they had jumps there, and first jump broke my collarbone.
So we should stick to skateboards, right?
Yeah, completely. That or surfing.
For what matters, but maybe mountain bike.
I got to stick to going sideways, you know?
Exactly. So anyway, we wish you the best. I know that
Thank
you told me before that you have a surgery in a couple of days. Today we're going to talk about many things. Of course, we're going to talk about Convergence that is going to be released in a couple of days. The people that will listen to this podcast it will be released a couple of weeks after, so they can still see the film around. But the first question.
Okay, so I can't give them any. I can't give them spoilers.
No, you will not give them spoilers, but you can talk very openly about the film and everything that is going around. And I hope they will appreciate anyway, both ways. But the first question I ask everybody on the show is, in your opinion, what is the most important thing in surfing?
In my opinion, well, first off, I'm going to answer. Everybody should have the same answer. The first important thing about surfing is go out there. Well, first be safe, but go out there and have fun.
Exactly. Go there and have fun is what everybody is answering. Maybe you have a second one.
Yeah, I have a second one. So go out there and have fun. And then there's another one. You always got to know your place. So if you're at a spot that's not your spot, you got to show respect for other people. You know, it's just like waiting in lines places. You can't just cut the line. And then the third off, go do it a bunch. It's really fun. You don't really get hurt too. You do get hurt sometimes surfing, but for the most part, you don't get that hurt. And as long as you stay safe and within your level of your ability to surf, you should be good. And it's the most fun thing in the world, I think.
I totally agree with you. It's the most fun thing in the world. And if I ask you the same for skateboarding, it's the same, isn't it? Your answer, or will be different?
It's similar. Skateboarding, you don't really worry about the respect thing, I feel like, so much, because when it comes to surfing, there's only a limited amount of waves, and the waves are never so good all the time. So skating, it's always there. Usually the bigger group, the bigger the group for skating, the more fun.
Okay. So you got me there. Then, so there is a substantial difference. Is that you can skate as long you want, and
and skating's very cultural. Surfing is too. They both just different culture. Skating, go up to the skate park, hang out all day, chill, maybe barbecue, drink some beers and skate. And then surfing, usually I feel like people usually just surf and then go home and eat at their house or something. I don't know. They barbecue at their house maybe too, but skating, you hang out all day at the skate park, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
I guess you can hang out all day at the beach, but hang out all day at the beach every day is, you get too much sun, you get exhausted, tired. I just go surf and go home.
Exactly. No, that's what most people do. And actually, living in front of the beach is not for everybody, right? So there is a commute to do, and it's not that easy all the time. And
being in the sun makes you tired.
Yeah, of course.
On the beach, it's so hot. It's oh man.
Of course, you cannot drink while surfing, right? So you can still
exactly
skateboarding on a certain level, maybe.
The skateboarding is kind of like hanging out at a park, you know?
Yeah,
it's more social.
I got you. Sorry if today we'll not talk a lot about skateboarding. Obviously, the
Yeah,
time
no
will
worries.
surf, but I have a question about your first surfboard. Do you remember? Do you remember it? And perhaps, do you still have it?
So I have a surfboard from when I was a little kid, when I was a baby. Like I think I was 1 year old. My grandpa, he used to shape surfboards. And so he shaped me a surfboard when I was 1 year old. And it was, oh, I don't know how big, maybe like 3 feet, but it was like a little yellow board. And then he put my hand. I know this because I remember, because I have photos from when I was a little kid, when I was like maybe 4 years old, doing ollies on it on the ground outside.
Okay.
And I still have it. Yeah, super stoked.
Wow. That's like a memory, a piece of memory, of course, a memory of the family, such important.
Yeah,
So yeah, it doesn't happen like every day to find somebody that still has his first surfboard.
yeah, it's super cool. And then I remember getting my first hand shaped board by my grandpa too. My grandpa shaped me a board. Wait, no, this wasn't my grandpa. This was, well, I think this was a Cole surfboard from San Clemente. Yeah, I think it was a Cole surfboard.
Okay.
And then I painted it with him. I think I was like maybe 9 years old.
Okay.
So yeah, that was super cool too. That was fun.
And is like there basically. Actually, I wanted to ask you this later, but since we're talking about painting, is there when you started to like love art and art making, or it was just something that like every kid do with his grandpa, and then was a sort of evolution in your approach?
Yeah. So I painted on and off, and I drew on and off throughout my whole life. And then in late 2017, I got hurt. I tore all the ligaments in my ankle, and I couldn't skateboard for 8 months. So I hurt both ankles. I moved back in with my grandma and grandpa. I think I was 27, 28, but I started painting a lot because I couldn't skateboard for 8 months. So I just kept painting a lot. And my grandpa does art shows, and like, so he's been helping me go that route, getting some art shows. And
Yeah, of course.
so I've been just working on my painting more and more, because it's already in the family. So it's kind of easier.
Yeah.
So there's some connections there. So yeah.
Give
So I've
you
been doing that.
some opportunity, right? That not everybody has, right? Okay, yeah.
A little easier. And then I already have a name skating, so it's kind of a little easier. So just figured branch out into some other stuff. I've been skating for 20, I don't know, I've been skating a long time. So I'm interested in doing a lot of other stuff. And then I've been using my paintings for skateboard graphics for the skateboard company I ride for. And so that's just been translating into my skateboarding career also already. So I have to paint for that. So it's just kind of like happening naturally.
It's all interconnected, isn't it?
Exactly. And then like right now I'm hurt. I have a broken collarbone, and I'm not going to be able to skate or surf for a couple months. So I'm going to go and I'm just going to paint a bunch. So I'm going to work on some new graphics for my next boards coming out next year. And
okay,
just take time to do rehab on my collarbone, like physical therapy, and then paint and just kind of chill at the house.
Okay. So maybe this accident that happened to you will create opportunities for great piece of art that will come.
It's easier for me to paint now because I don't have surfing and skating to sidetrack me every day. So
exactly.
It's like, so now I'm going to be painting every day again. So yeah,
exactly. And
so it's just naturally happening.
In talking about still about art and painting, what was the thing so far that made you most proud of in this particular discipline?
So yes, during that time I got hurt in 2018, I was sitting around, my ankles were messed up. I was laying in bed, and like I just was thinking about some art that I wanted to do, and I had this really good idea in my head, a really good idea. You know how that goes. Everyone has opinions, but
of course.
So I was thinking about how I could like bring skateboarding into my art, and I come up with an idea. I wanted to do kind of like sort of a replication of a backyard pool through my eyes. So I did this thing called a death box, because when you skateboard a backyard pool, the gutter in the backyard pool that you grind over, that little square, that's called a death box. And so I made this piece of art, a sculpture. It's like basically like a wall. I think it's I forget how big it is, but I think it's like 7 feet tall, pretty sure. I don't know how wide, but I painted it blue, kind of like a backyard pool, and then painted over it, and then put like a real death box in it, put pool coping on top of it, tile on it. I put in a working light. Yeah, I like to call it the death box, and I'm doing a series of those, and hopefully maybe I'll do a couple more this year. They take up a lot of room and time and a lot of work, so it's kind of like.
But
I'm
people appreciate you had a good feedback, right?
Yeah, people were pretty stoked on it. I made it so it hangs off the wall. It looks like it's coming in at you. So like when you eat shit in the bowl and you look up, the walls just look like they're caving in on you sometimes. So I kind of replicated that, so it looks like it's falling over onto you. So I think that's pretty cool.
Nice, cool.
And people seem to like that part a lot. They're tripping on it, like, whoa, it looks like it's falling. I'm like, yeah, it's supposed to.
Nice. This is, for that reason, it was made like to look like that. So it means
because it's on an angle.
Okay, I got you.
So it's like, whoa. And it's big, so you really notice it. You're like, whoa, okay. It looks like something looks like it's falling over.
Cool. Well, in effect, you are talking about it in the film Convergence, right? So I heard a little bit of this story. Now,
okay. I'm sorry, I forgot what I talked about in that.
You were talking about this part a little bit,
Oh, perfect. I think I remember.
Yeah,
I have a bad memory.
No problem. I just saw it today, actually, so it's very nice.
Oh, no way. Yeah.
And I like the fact that it's like kind of it starts like in a bonfire conversation between Connor, Tyler, and yourself, Nate. And yourself.
That was actually really fun. Sorry to interrupt you. I just want to say that was really fun, that talking around the campfire, like, even though it was kind of an interview, but kind of more hanging out, like there was no script. There was no people asking us questions, just each other. So like, it was really fun for me to come up with questions for Connor and Nate, Tyler, and think of things to ask them that I'm actually curious in, and as goes for them when they ask me. Yeah. So that was fun.
It shows, it shows, it looks really, really natural, and I think is that one of the powerful thing of the film, obviously, skateboard, surf, Santa Barbara, Santa Cruz, a lot of nice places and things. But I think one of the things that I like particularly the fact that three of you, they talk like the three best friends, that they see each other over a beer or something, and they just hang out, and so that I really like.
And for me, it was fun because I've known Connor Coffin forever. I've known him since I was 19 or 20, and I'm 32 now.
Okay.
And then for Nate Tyler, I just met him, but he's super cool, really easy to hang out with, like easy to talk to. Like if I had any question I wanted to ask him, he would answer, like with, I wasn't worried about asking him any questions or like talking to him. He was just super cool guy, super cool. It worked really well. And like, it was pretty insane that trip, because I can't believe it. I got to go on a trip with Connor Coffin, who's an insane surfer on the tour. Like, he's like the #1 powerhouse guy on the tour, probably, he's up there, he's gnarly. And then with Nate Tyler, he's such a good free surfer and like so rad, and he's an artist of his own. So like, it was really cool to be able to go on a trip with someone who's respected in the tour and respected in the free surfing community as well. So that was pretty neat, watching them both surf and watching how they have way different styles, but both rip.
Yeah. And how did it start, the idea of this film? How did they approach you? What they said, what they told you?
So Connor Coffin was getting on the team, I think a couple years ago, and they told me like, "Hey, Connor's going to get on the team," blah blah blah, and I'm like, "Oh, awesome! I already know him. I'm friends with him." They're like, "Really?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like bring him on the team." So I was happy about that, and then me and Connor were just always like, "Fuck, it'd be insane if we could get to do a trip one day together." So that's what we were telling 805, and then 805 was like, 805 is super cool, easy to work with, and like they listen to what we have to say, you know. So they're like, yeah, like well, that's gonna happen. And then so it happened. It was just hard to get everyone's schedules lined up because Nate goes and travels and chases waves, and he's a family man and has kids and a wife, and he's an artist. And then you got Connor Coffin, who's on the tour nonstop. He was just in Indonesia with his dad, like surfing with his family out there. Like he's super busy too. And then I got my own life going. So like getting the three of our schedules together was hard, but once we aligned it, it was just so fun.
Yeah.
So that's how that happened.
Okay, that's cool to hear. And talking about like meeting people and encountering, let's say, there is a question that I ask everyone on the show.
Yeah,
there's so many questions that I ask.
No worries. Hey, the more questions, the better.
But was there a meeting with a surfer or a skateboarder, anybody that was particularly meaningful for you in your life, that like really left something memorable?
Yeah, meeting Pedro Barros, who's another skateboarder. He's, in my eyes, he's like one of the all-time top skateboarders ever in history, going to be in history books for sure. And he's from Brazil, so he's from a different country, and like he's always super rad, super cool, always invited everybody out to his house to come skate his bowl that he had and vert ramp. And so like I started going out there and hanging out with those guys and like became part of their family pretty much. And like
Nice.
His dad is friends with my grandma and grandpa, and I'm friends with his dad. I'm friends with all his friends over in Brazil. Like I just feel super accepted into his community over there. And I've had so much fun hanging out with those guys and skating with those guys. And when I was traveling, doing a lot of contests, I was always with his dad and him. And like, so yeah, meeting him was super impactful on me and helped me out in my career, just to have someone to hang with and go cruise around the world with, you know, and like stay at their house and skate and surf and like barbecue. We had the full surf skate like lifestyle, like surf and skate every day in Brazil and then barbecue after every day too. Like Amazing. It was insane.
Amazing. And it's not the first time that you're talking about barbecue. So I mean, it means that you like barbecues a lot, right?
Yeah.
I can imagine.
I guess so. You know what's funny is over there, I was like, my first time barbecue, I was eating stuff and we were drinking beers and I got pretty drunk, you know, I was just stoked, like, woo, yeah, like, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, like the chicken hearts are out. And I was like, whoa, chicken hearts. And everyone just ran to the grill. Everyone started just smashing the chicken hearts, eating them all. Like, and then I was like, whoa, okay, like that's kind of trippy, but I'm here. Like, we're doing this. Everyone's doing it.
Sorry.
No worries.
I got attacked by an animal or something.
No worries. Good thing you're not in Australia because it's probably be venomous.
No, exactly. No. In Italy, it's just like scary. So sorry if I if I look weird. No, sorry. So
no worries.
It was like everybody was running at the barbecue.
Everybody was running to eat the chicken hearts, and then me and a few of my buddies, like Chris Russell and Alex Sargente, and like some other people, we were like, whoa, and then like, okay, maybe gonna chug this beer really quick before I eat that. And you know what? I learned I do like chicken heart also.
No way.
Okay. Yeah, but that was a fun experience for me, you know, because like it's not my culture, it's someone else's culture.
Yeah, definitely.
And then I ended up enjoying it. So every time they have the barbecues, I'm always like, oh yeah. Like,
if you have like Brazilian friends or to my Brazilian friends now, will try to propose them chicken heart. I'm sure they're gonna love it.
They're gonna love it. Yeah, they eat it a lot. It's good, and you should eat more of the animal. You know.
Okay. Well,
so that's good too.
I will
But
see. I will see how it goes when I tell them. So going back to surf, I have like a question, and then we're gonna finish the interview with 6 questions that I ask everyone in the show,
perfect.
very quick. What was the best wave of your life?
Whoa, the best wave of my life. Oh, I'm trying to think. I think the best wave of my life, I think it was at the wedge. It was like maybe like it was like a 5 foot, maybe like a 5 foot wave, like 5 foot back, you know, overhead, well overhead. Came in on the side wave and then got barreled at the wedge peak. You know the wedge?
No, no, no. I'm not familiar with.
Huh. Okay, so it's a left wave, and it breaks in the summertime on a southwest swell, and then it wraps around the jetty because there's a jetty out there, like a bunch of rocks, you know.
Okay.
So it pushes around the jetty, and then it bounces and makes a mutant wave, and then this little wave will start at the jetty and go sideways it goes sideways in the ocean, and then the peak comes in and it gets big, jacked up. So I caught the wave on the side, pulled in, got barreled on the wedge wave, came out, and then tried to ollie off a little backwash and just went flying. But yeah,
maybe I saw that one. You know, you
maybe
about it.
Yeah, but I think anytime I get a wave at wedge is like, I'll get one wave a year where I'm like, whoa, that wave was insane. But like sometimes I don't even make the drop on the wave, but it's still like in my brain forever. You know, I'm like, whoa, that wave was crazy.
I see what.
But yeah, I don't know. Maybe go like, I want to go get I don't know. I want to go try to surf pipeline this year. Like not anything crazy or big or anything, like 5-6 foot, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe go get a sick wave there or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Been surfing a lot. So I'm not skating as much, traveling as much skating. So I've had opportunities to surf more. So gonna go do that. And there's skate parks there. So I might as well.
Perfect.
Yeah. So it's pretty much no brainer to go skate and surf, you know?
Exactly. It's a perfect place for you.
Yeah.
Cool. So before going for the 6 final question Q&A, very quick answer and question, we remind everybody to go and watch Convergence. You know, that will be out. So it's already out for when people will listen to this interview.
Perfect.
And so I guess that will be it. And I'm sure they will be like they will be super happy about watching this amazing film. It's very natural, as we said, it's a conversation between three friends, right? So
yeah, it's just like it's a mellow film. It was super fun. Like the guy Perry, who is the cinematographer for it, has an insane eye. He's very artistic behind the camera. Like he really knows what he's doing. Like I really like his work. So that was really fun to work with Perry. And like I said, Nate Tyler and Connor Kaufman are just insane human beings on a surfboard, off the surfboard. Like it's just so cool. Like you'll learn stuff about them that you didn't know, maybe, or maybe you did. I don't know. But
it's
yeah,
cool because the film literally is not just a surf film. It's really about the three of you.
It's more like friends going on a trip together.
Exactly.
Which I think is really cool because like that's why everybody goes and surfs and skates, because it's like if it wasn't for my friends, I wouldn't even probably surf or skate.
No, exactly. You need always somebody,
can't last,
you know?
Yeah, you can't last doing something that long and like not have people around to enjoy it with. Yeah. And also surfing, you could get the most insane barrel of your life, but if you didn't have a friend that saw it to brag about it, about it, be like, oh, did you see that?
Exactly.
Then it wouldn't even be worth going and doing almost.
Exactly. You're saying
it would, but it just, yeah. And then having a buddy there that you can push the limits with, like they know that, that if I get hurt, I can rely on my friends to take care of me.
Exactly.
So you can push the limit.
In effect, when I had opportunity to speak with the founding fathers of surfing, from Greg Knoll, I don't know,
Oh,
to
wow.
Monica Bell, to these people, they always told me, like, Alessandro, at that time, of course, like the waves were empty, and we needed a buddy for two reasons. The first is safety, like you said. And the second, like you said, that the time when we were going back and we were telling stories, at least there was somebody that could say, yes, that happened. And it was not just
He's not
bullshit.
lying. So he said the same thing as me.
Exactly. They said exactly the same thing. At that time, there were no people surfing, right? Because it was 1967. I mean, not like today. There were few people.
Yeah.
And so they needed in a certain point in a certain way to certify when they were back on the shore what they had experienced, like, oh, why me? Why me? Why so big, and somebody has to say yes. Otherwise, it was just like bullshit talking,
Yep. I got the bigger wave. Someone's always got to say it.
Exactly. So that's fun. You said exactly the same thing. So last question. Please answer the first thing that comes up to your mind. So, the best surfboard that you ever rode.
I'm just trying to think. I think right now, the best board that I've been stoked on right now, I have an Eric Rumner board. He's a small shaper from San Clemente.
Okay.
He shapes a lot of boards, but he's not like super famous or anything, but he's really good, works for other people and stuff. But yeah, I have an epoxy board of his. He's super good at doing epoxy. It's I have a 5'7", 18.5 inches wide, 2.25 inches thick. And it's working super good for me right now. Like really fast, like
cool.
It's light epoxy, just trying to do a bunch of airs. I just basically try to do skating. I just basically try to do surfing what I do skating. I just want to do a bunch of airs and yeah. But yeah, so.
Your favorite shaper of all time, since we're talking about shaping?
This is kind of answering the question, kind of not, but I'm going to have to say probably I'm going to have to keep it in the family and say my grandpa, my favorite shaper of all time, because without my grandpa shaping surfboards, I probably wouldn't have been into surfing. My uncle and my dad probably wouldn't have been into surfing.
Yeah.
And that's how my grandpa, that was my grandpa's like first job. One of his first jobs, like that was his career, was shaping surfboards in Hawaii. So, and that's like how he met all his friends and everything. So that made my family,
Yeah. But, I was sure that you were answering that. I didn't want to put you in trouble, by the way.
With your no, that's not trouble. Well,
definitely,
here's the list really quick. I'll break it down. My grandpa was shaping boards forever. My uncle shapes boards and my dad shapes boards. And then I was like, ooh. And then I was like, I'll start with grandpa because he's at the top. So
exactly.
But my uncle was shaping his own boards and hand shaping his own boards. And he got like one of the best waves pipeline of his life on that board. Got super sick barrel on that board. And it was a hand shape of his. So that's pretty insane. And I used to love to ride my uncle's hand shaped boards when I was like 10 years ago when he was making them a bunch.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool. And then my dad, so my uncle is the one who my grandpa helped invent the minigun, I think, for serving pipe. And then my uncle brought back the quad, the forefin. He's the one that like put the forefin on the map for like ripping wise, like for the future rippers. And then my dad is the one who's bringing back the step down deck, I think. So now you are not in trouble. You said like something about the three of them. So yeah, my dad has the concave on the top of his board.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of like domed, it's concaved, and then it has the down rail. So that's pretty neat. But yeah, so they're all doing their own things,
Okay. Yeah, definitely. And
maybe I get into it.
Maybe you should try as well, maybe not.
Yeah. I've done a handshake before. It was really fun. I want to do some more handshakes just for fun,
Exactly. For friends, for family, it's all starts from there, right? So
yeah.
Personal question, your favorite song?
It's gonna have to be a Slayer song for sure.
Okay.
For sure. Any album, Show No Mercy. Like, I'm trying to think.
Okay.
I don't know. You know what song I listen to all the time? Leonard Skinner, Simple Man.
Okay.
So I'm probably gonna go with that, because you could listen to that with like your mom, your girlfriend, your grandma, your friends, like your friends' kids. Like, you could listen to that with anyone.
Totally different than Slayers, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's similar though. Kind of.
Why I don't know.
It's rock. It's rock and roll, metal rock and roll. It's a blurry line there.
Blurry line. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Your favorite surf spot?
The Wedge in Newport.
Okay. Favorite skateboarder of all time?
Favorite skateboarder of all time? I'm gonna go with John Cardiel.
Okay. And if
can I give you a quick reason why?
Yeah, tell me.
I just figured I'd give you a quick reason why. I know I've been talking a lot, but John Cardiel, because first off, my uncle introduced me to watching his videos when I was a little kid, and always told me, you want to skate like him, fast and big. And I was like, oh. And then he's insane. He skated transition back then. He's a legendary skater. He skated transition. He skated street. He could skate anything. He could skate a hubba on a stair set, like a little hubba or a big hubba. He could skate a little or a big handrail. He had a trick for everything. He skate big gaps. Like, he went really fast and just pushed the bar for all types of skating. So that's my favorite skater.
Cool. Thank you for the extra explanation. I like that.
Yeah. And then can I give you my favorite surfer too?
Yes, of course. This is what I want.
Just super quick. This is just a quick list. Gotta have my family, obviously, grandpa, dad, uncle. But besides that, Andy Irons is for sure my favorite surfer. I probably watch Andy Irons like every day. I swear I watch his videos every day, all day, especially lately. But like Andy and Bruce Irons, you can't fuck with those guys. Sorry, excuse my language.
No, don't worry about it.
But they're badass, so they deserve that word. And John Florence, Nathan Florence, Ivan Florence, like obviously his mom helped them get into surfing too, like that whole family. And then those are
you keep it in a wide territory. Yeah, of course, with them.
So that's my favorite list right there.
Such a legend, obviously. So the last question is a little bit unusual.
Yep.
I don't remember why I put this question on the podcast, but nevertheless,
no worries.
Everybody answer. Your best relationship advice. When relationship, I refer to friends, romantic relationship, whatever you want to answer. Just try.
I figured it would be with any relationship. My best advice is you always got to keep in mind, like, not just your feelings, but theirs, obviously. But don't just be a fake person. Don't just do something because you think it's the right thing to do. I hope you go out and do it because you feel it in your heart that you should do so. So always be there for your friends if it's something serious.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with you. And in the difficulties, you see the real friends, no? Not when everything goes okay and great, right?
Yeah. I'm more of a type of friend where I'm like, whatever. Like if it's minor things, I don't even want to be bothered. I'm like, dude, come on. I'm like, all right. But if it's something like big, I'll be there no matter what for my friends. Like for sure, 100%, like without a doubt, I'll be there. I'll just say, like, I'm kind of flaky with my friends, and my friends are flaky too. Like, oh, I'll be there in 10 minutes or 20 minutes, show up 2 hours later. But when it comes down to it, if somebody needs me, or like vice versa, my friends will be there 1,000%. You don't have to even question it. So that's probably my best advice. It's okay to be flaky with your time and everything, but then when it comes down to it, be there.
Yeah, definitely.
And make sure people know that. And if you're skating and surfing big waves and doing dangerous activities, it's really good to have a solid crew to do it with that. If you're going to have to rely on somebody else to get you to the hospital, that they can do that.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's
So-
friendship that goes beyond, right? Just
Yeah. So that's my best advice, I'd say, is just have their back. When it comes down to it, have their back.
So thank you so much for the time that you dedicated to me today.
Oh wait,
look
hey,
forward to talk to you very
the other
soon.
advice for your friends, tell them to check out the movie.
Yes, definitely. That's a good advice, and to do.
That's rule number 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry to cut you off. I just wanted to put that in there.
No,
funny.
definitely. They need all to check it out, and so it will be already released. So go online and look for it. Convergence is gonna be, I guess, available on Vimeo and a different platform.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time.
Ciao. Hi, it's me again. I hope you enjoyed our today's episode. If you want to know more about us, please follow www.thetempleofsurf.com and all our social media. Mahalo!